The car arrived at Ethan's favorite restaurant. When getting out of the car, Sophia started rubbing her stomach. Ethan seemed to have noticed it, and quickly asked with concern, "What's the matter? Does your stomach hurt?" Sophia nodded, then opened her bag and took out the medicine box inside. When she opened it, she found out that there is no medicine left. Sophia had been having stomachaches for a while. A few years ago, her family almost went bankrupt. In order to make a comeback, she worked almost day and night without eating or sleeping. Over time, she developed stomach problems. Later, after we got together, I often cooked porridge and served meals to her. Her stomach was healed a lot by me, but it still couldn't withstand the occasional relapse of gastric disease during social events. In order to prevent her stomachache from being too uncomfortable, I always prepare medicine and put it in her bag in advance. Also, I will often check if she got enough medicine in her bag, and I will refill it for her as soon as possible if the medicine was not enough. Logically speaking, Sophia shouldn't have finished taking the medicine so quickly. Thinking about it carefully, in the past 6 months since I have been away, no one reminded her when to eat, and no one take care about her body. She often did not eat on time, and she deserved the frequent recurrence of stomach problems. "Let me rub it for you." Ethan took the initiative to approach Sophia and put his hand on her stomach. "Just rub it and it'll be fine." Sophia was stunned for a moment, then pushed Ethan away. "No, I'm probably hungry." "Just eat." "Let's go then," Ethan said with a smile as if nothing happened. Sophia pursed her lips and then both of them got out of the car together. Sitting at the dining table, Ethan kept ordering food with the waiter, and occasionally asked Sophia. Sophia's face turned pale due to stomachache, but she never wanted to show her weakness in front of Ethan. She couldn't bear Ethan to worry about her, so she endured everything by herself. Seeing her hurting like this, I felt a little bit happy for no reason. Better hurts to death. After Ethan ordered the food, he didn't notice anything wrong about Sophia. He was still talking so happily with her. "Sophia, I ordered your favorite spicy boiled pork slices. You need to eat more later." I looked at Sophia's expression and finally changed a little. How can a person with stomachache eat such spicy food? Ethan really didn't realize anything at all. Back in the days, I was a person who really liked spicy food. In order to help Sophia nourish her stomach, I forced myself to keep a bland diet for a whole year. Finally, I realized that I have been just being mean to myself all these years. The meal is served. Sophia didn't eat much. Ethan was still a little bit confused. "Sophia, don't you like the food I ordered for you? Why do you eat only so little?" "I have a bad stomach and can't eat spicy food anymore," Sophia said bluntly. "Ah, I didn't even know that. What should I do?" "I'm sorry, Sophia, I'm sorry." Ethan apologized quickly, looking extremely self-blame. What Sophia couldn't stand the most was Ethan's sadness. You know, whenever there is thunder and lightning, and Ethan says that he is drunk outside and cannot go home, Sophia will drive to pick him up in the rain all night just to take him back. At this moment, she was afraid that her stomach hurt to death and she had to eat the food that Ethan ordered for her to comfort him. But Sophia only said lightly, "It's nothing, I have no appetite to eat anything now. Enjoy the meal, I'm going back to the company first." Ethan hadn't reacted yet. Sophia has left. She was sitting in a taxi and suddenly dug out the empty pillbox in her bag. The next moment, she threw the pillbox out of the window. Probably, out of sight, out of mind. She didn't go back to the company, she went home directly. So, she's still angry that Ethan wasn't attentive enough? Of course, it's also because you care about someone. After all, when I occasionally got sick and caught a cold, Sophia ignored me, which made me very angry. I just got used to it anyway. "Madam, you are back. Have you had lunch yet?" Emma hurriedly stepped forward to greet her. "I will skip the lunch today," Sophia said with a gloomy face. "How can you not eat?" Sir said that you have a stomach problem and you will get a stomachache if you don't eat anything. Emma said with concern, "Let me help you to make some porridge. If you have no appetite, at least have some porridge, okay?" Sophia paused, but finally did not refuse. Half an hour later, Emma brought the porridge to Sophia. During this period, Sophia had been sitting on the sofa watching TV, but she kept pressing the remote control and seemed very absent-minded. "Ma'am, it's still very hot. Be careful." "Yeah," Sophia responded, then picked up the spoon and took a slow bite. "How does it taste, madam?" Emma asked. Sophia swallowed the porridge and said indifferently, "It tastes very similar to the porridge cooked by James. Sir taught me how to cook it." Emma said quickly. "Sir said that if he was not at home, I need to make porridge for you, so he taught me how to do it. Sir said that madam has a bad stomach. It needs to be cooked until it is thicker and softer. Sir also said that madam doesn't like to eat vegetables, but you like broccoli, so every time when he makes porridge with vegetables, he will use broccoli instead. Sir is really attentive to madam and always remembers every preference of yours." Emma talked a lot, and I couldn't listen anymore. It's not that Emma lied, it's just that they were all true, which made me feel that these were all a shame. Being nice to Sophia is the most regretful thing I have ever done in my life. "Madam, please ask Sir to come back. He is really the person who loves you the most and treats you the best in this world." Emma couldn't help but say. Sophia seemed to pause. I thought she would disagree like before. At that moment, she remained silent. After Sophia finished eating the porridge, she returned to the room and lay on the bed. Judging from the look on her face, her stomach must have been relieved a lot. Her mobile phone kept ringing with messages, which were from Ethan. "I'm sorry, Sophia. It's my fault that I didn't notice you felt unwell. Are you feeling better now? Do you want to go to the hospital? If so, I can go with you. Sophia, I didn't even know you had stomach problems. You didn't have them before. I always thought James would take good care of you. Sophia, are you angry? Why don't you reply to my message?" After reading the message, Sophia suddenly stood up from the bed and quickly left the room. I couldn't help but feel funny looking at her anxious look. How could I ever deceive myself into thinking that Sophia only cared for Ethan as a friend? Because Ethan had no friends and his parents were very unfriendly to him, so Sophia just overflowed her sympathy. Now it seems that I am really a joke. Watching her driving like crazy to find Ethan. If you really love someone, you won't make him sad, right? I have already thought about how Sophia would comfort Ethan when she saw him. Maybe the emotions would be in place and the two of them would really be together. In the past 6 months, nothing substantial has happened yet. Probably because they were afraid that cheating in marriage would have a bad impact on each other's reputations, so they didn't go any further. I watched Sophia parks the car, rush into the elevator, and press the floor button. She walked to the door and pressed the doorbell eagerly. The door opened. I was shocked. Because the person who opened the door was my sister, Mia. It was also at this moment that I noticed that this was not even Ethan's home, this was my sister's home. The moment my sister saw Sophia, she slammed the door without hesitation. Sophia reacted quickly and grabbed the door, but her hand was caught by the door. Sophia endured the severe pain. My sister also endured it and asked coldly, "What are you doing here? You are not welcomed here. I'm looking for James." Sophia's voice was hoarse because of the pain. "Isn't it clear what I said on the phone? James is dead. If you really want to find him, just die. If you die, you can see him again." My sister said viciously. "That's enough, Mia. We are married and it's not your turn to talk about things between us." Sophia was embarrassed by my sister's scolding, but she still didn't believe that I'm already dead. "What are you doing in here then? Get out of here. Can't believe that you still have the nerve to talk about marriage. Have you ever fulfilled your responsibilities as a wife? Come on, get out, it's so disgusting. How dare you?" Sophia is not really good at how to defend herself. We used to quarrel, and I suffered from her cold violence. At this moment, if I were her and being insulted like this by my sister, I think I will just stand still and couldn't react anything at all. I will call the police if you don't leave now. My sister threatened. I was wrong and I am sorry. Sophia suddenly said. I was shocked. My sister was also shocked. After so many years, when did Sophia ever feel sorry? Even if I was forced to harm myself, she would still think I was making trouble unreasonably. Let me see James, and I'll have a good talk with him. Sophia said calmly. Talk? My sister smiled sarcastically. At that moment, my eyes were really red. After all, I'm dead. Talk to a ghost? My sister said, Sophia, do you think you have been worthying of James in the past few years? I have a clear conscience. Sophia said sternly. You and Ethan are so entangled, and you still have a clear conscience? My sister couldn't control herself again. Ethan and I are innocent. Innocent? What does that, innocent, mean? Do you guys really have to sleep on the same bed to not be innocent? Huh. Probably you guys have done it already, my sister roared at Sophia. When James was sick, you stayed with Ethan. When James celebrates his birthday, as soon as Ethan calls you, you go to see him regardless of the weather or timing. James wanted to celebrate when he made his first bucket of gold, but you chose to celebrate Ethan's birthday. James is jealous because of Ethan, and you are still blaming him for not being generous enough, not being a man enough, and said he is petty. The more my sister talked about, the more she collapsed. Sophia, do you really think you are qualified enough as a wife? How can you have the nerve to say that you have a clear conscience towards James? Sophia hasn't opened his mouth to defend yet. My sister said excitedly, don't forget that when you had nothing, it was James who accompanied you through the darkest moment, not Ethan. In the end, see what did you give to James, and what did you give to Ethan? I gave James a home. Home? My sister smiled even more sarcastically. What kind of home? A widow's home. A wife who is always by the side of other man is more terrifying than being widowed. Have you said enough? Sophia became angry in embarrassment. I admit that James did accompany me through difficulties, but Ethan was also very kind to me. When I was in the worst financial situation, it was Ethan who filled the gap for me by selling cars and houses. And I am very grateful to him. Is it wrong? What did you say?